The SME sector, the informal sector, is the main employer both in the rural areas and in the urban areas. The so-called Juakali sector that has been festering, that has been with us for many years, spanning all the way from Moi's regime up to date, without any form of reorganization, improvement, and innovation, has stuck with us. And many of us now believe the so-called reference Juakali sector is generally the cause of innovation in development and continued urban poverty. Honorable Speaker, in many cases, we have very sounding policies. To say the truth, to say there is no unified policy is probably to miss the mark. There are plethora of policies, regulations, and rules governing the Juakali sector. The problem has been none of the successful governments, and I doubt if this one is any different, have wanted to leverage on the informal sector so that they take it from the level of informality to a level of formality. Honorable Speaker, we talk about Vision 2030 that was supposed to industrialize this country by the year 2030. Unfortunately, Honorable Speaker, in each year budget, we never invest any resources, we never invest any budget towards improving or innovating the way the Juakali sector undertake their works or they improve their things. Honorable Speaker, earlier in the morning, we debated a motion presented to the floor of this House by the Honorable Kiarie concerning the improvement and support of the artisans. And probably this particular motion should have been tied together. We're not going to go anywhere if we still talk of informality. We are not going to improve this country if we talk about the informal sector. We must get out of this notion of informal sector. The continued mention of informal sector, the Juakali sector, they actually retards or holds back the participants in this market because they believe there are lesser inventors, there are lesser good, there are lesser people in this country. And therefore, they always believe they're supposed to be protected, they always believe they're supposed to be untouched, they always believe they're not subjected to any quality assurance and any quality development. If I were where I sit, I would actually now start talking about, look for another terminology. How do we deal with the small innovation or innovative sector? Drop the mention to Juakali, drop the mention to small, medium, small enterprise, and again, we're going to perpetuate this mentality of smallness, Honorable Speaker. We are going to perpetuate this mentality of informality, Honorable Speaker. We are going to perpetuate this mentality of not making any reference to improve the quality. That's why, Honorable Speaker, our goods and our products, however basic they are, they're unable to compete with the imports, simply because we have enslaved our mind with informality. We have enslaved our mind with the Juakali mentality, so that anything we do without caring to improve upon it, without caring to ensure it meets national and international standards, we let them go through with these guys that we are protecting the Juakali sector. And that's why, Honorable Speaker, this continued talk of bottoms up, this continued talk of hustler mentality is not going to liberate the mind of the downtrodden. It's not going to liberate the mind of the so-called the bottom of the pyramid, because they're now being made victims. They're actually being looked as if people, they're forgotten. They're not being motivated to move away from the bottom of the pyramid. Honorable Speaker, I came from the university before I came to Parliament. When a student is at the bottom of the score sheet, what do? You don't start sympathizing with that student. You invest in that student, be it extracurriculum or remedial units, or you take the student on a mentorship program. You do not keep on sympathizing with that student and pumping free balls on that student so that he remains there, becomes an election or a political tool. Honorable Speaker, as much as we support this motion, but this motion needs to be redrafted to a point that to such a way that we start getting the informality out of the informal sector, we move them to the formal sector so that whatever they innovate can be imported or exported to US. Whatever they innovate can be imported to Uganda. Whatever they innovate can be imported elsewhere, not just be consumed by the local community that only understands. Honorable Speaker, that's why you find many of the local products. I know the State Department of Industry or the State Department of Trade has got this one county product program. If by its own design, Honorable Speaker, you are confining a product to be produced, marketed, and consumed in that particular sector or the particular geographical area. That's why, Honorable Speaker, I want to urge the new government, the Kenya Kwanza government, whatever it calls itself, but it is a government of Kenya, to literally liberate the people of Kenya from the informality. Let the people of Kenya generally move to the next level. We have adequate funding. There is Uwezo Fund. The national body in charge of research and funding is available to provide research, to deepen funding, to provide funding to deepen research so that we can produce goods and services that meet international standards. The way it is drafted, Honorable Speaker, is going to be a talk shop. The new government will settle in, play with the minds of the people, sympathize with them, work on emotions, and leave them there. President Uhuru Kenyatta found the informal sector, left it the way it is. President Mwai Kibaki found the informal sector, left the way it is. None of the wheelbarrow produced in this country has ever been exported to US or China. So for how many years are we going to be talking about a sector that has refused to grow? Because the policies that are being perpetuated are not development-oriented policies, but are policies meant to subjugate them to where they are so they become a political tool. Honorable Speaker, as much as we talk about this, we need to call upon KEBS, we need to call upon other quality assurances to make sure that they refuse to give a stamp of quality to these substandard goods and services that are unable to be sold beyond the boundaries of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, we have reached a point now, this country has got very well-educated people who can innovate and think. All that we need investment in this sector. The Kenya numerical machine, Honorable Speaker, cannot be referred as Juakali. The equipment they have are as good as any other industry. Why can these people who are involved in basic innovation go to Kenya numerical machine, take their products there, take their designs there, that are manufactured, get a seal of approval so they can be marketed outside this country? Honorable Speaker, we have some of the best IT gurus in this country. That's why they keep on hacking phones. That's why they keep on hacking banks to steal money. That's why they keep on hacking the EIBC server, Kamagas and the rest and the accomplices here to see the votes that were supposed to go to Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Why can they get to beyond this point? Instead of using to do something that is wrong, why can they use that skill to improve on the processes so that we are able to move to the next level? Honorable Speaker, yes, I support the motion, but we need to urge the government to get out of informality, bring these people into formal sector so that they understand what it means to produce competitive goods and services. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support the motion by Honorable Beatrice Elachi. Thank you.